Okay, so we arrived to the last tool in the first aid representational work kit. I'm Limor, and we're gonna work with conflicts today. Conflicts with relationships. One system meeting the other system. It can be amazing, supportive, growing, and it can be often very triggering, painful, exhausting, frustrating. And it can really make us lose perspective sometimes. So we're just in the story and just with what's happening, and just, in the outside also, like him and him and he and he and she and she and she and. All right, so, okay. So I'll say that this is a first aid kind of tool. Sometimes we need a deeper session. Sometimes we need someone to hold space for us, okay? But sometimes this is really a lot to create already some clarity and distance and movement. How do we work? It can be any conflict. So the familiarity can go from 0 to 100. So it can be, I don't know, the person, the register in the shop, or the mailman, or something very like superficial, but it triggered us. And it can be something very intimate, like my parent or my brother or my partner. Okay. So how do we work? We take 2 presentations. One will be for us, and one will be for the person that we're working with. So let's say this is me, and this is the person. Okay, and we place them in the distance that we feel is appropriate, if possible, facing each other. And we start, the drill, with connecting to the self, and stay there. Okay, stay there and breathe. And how is your body? And how is your breath? And how are your emotions? And how are you feeling towards this person? And when you have the information, you can stay all the time connected only to your representation, by the way. If this is too triggering to go to his representation, don't do it. If you're interested, you can shake your hand and move here and check, how's it feeling here? How is the body feeling in this person's representation? How is he feeling towards your representation? How is he feeling in the field? It can be very surprising sometimes, not what we thought. And I go back to myself. And then we will bring 3 other representations. One is for what's happening between you, what's happening in the connection right now. So you can place it where you feel that it needs to be. I'll place it in the middle, but it doesn't have to be in the middle. It can be, maybe it's behind someone, maybe it's far away. So, wherever it feels. And then I'll bring a representation for my past or my part of the story. And I'll place it behind me. And I'll bring a representation of this person's part and this person's past. And place it behind him. And I go back to myself and I say, how is it feeling here now? Did something change? If I want, I can just for a minute turn each one of us to look at our past, at our part, at what we are bringing into this relationship and into this conflict. I can connect also while I'm looking at my past. These are all suggestions, you don't have to. And then I will turn both of us back. And I want to see, how am I feeling here now? What's happening? If I want, I can check, how's it feeling here now? What's happening? Did something change? Is there any request, any message, any change of distance? Don't force it. As also, as you know and learned, I love resourcing, so you can always bring something to support the connection. So it can be communication, it can be understanding, it can be love, and it can be, I don't know what it is, but something that, I don't know this, something that will support the connection. And then again, I can of course check how it's feeling here, and if I want, how it's feeling there, and if anything wants to move. And that's it. And I wish us all to have amazing, beneficial, loving relationships, that we can be compassionate for ourselves, for the other person, and to always keep the perspective and to love ourselves even when we're losing the perspective, because we all lose perspective. All right, let me know how it works for you. Have a wonderful day.